Hey everybody, welcome to week 2 of Tech Ethics. This week we are going to do Foundations of Ethics. So you've got a chapter in this, Cybersecurity Ethics, that it basically lays out what ethics is as an academic field. So the reason why we're doing this stuff is twofold. One is, if you have ethical theories, if you have some sort of rubric or guideline that helps you make decisions, every time you make a decision, it's not a one-off. So if you don't have a theory, it's like, oh, okay, do I think this is good or bad? Do I think there are problems with it? What does my gut tell me? And you make a decision, and it's good, it's bad, it's got some problems, whatever. Okay. This thing, is it good or bad? Does it have problems? How do I know? I've got to listen to my gut again. It's a one-off. Every time I make a decision, I'm starting from scratch. I got nothing to base my decisions on, and maybe I'm contradicting myself. Maybe, I'm judging this while I'm like hungry or tired or something, and I say it sucks. And I'm judging this when I'm happy and well-fed and all that kind of stuff. I think it's great. So I don't get consistency, and I don't have a tool for making decisions quickly. So that's why we have a theory. A theory says, okay, here's my thing, here's my theory, what do they say? Make a decision. Here's the thing, here's my theory, what do they say? Make a decision. It's faster, it's consistent, and you can explain yourself. Because if you say, oh, it's got real problems, your boss calls you in and says, hey, what's wrong with the phone? You go, my gut says it's bad. Not very helpful. But if you say, hey, I'm applying this theory, here's the principles of the theory, here's my application, here's my analysis, here's my conclusion, your boss will go, oh, okay, I got it. They may disagree with your theory, they may disagree with your starting premises, but they can see that you showed your work. And that's the key to this class as a class. I need you to show your work. So what you're going to be doing is saying, here's my theory, here are the elements of my theory, here's the thing I'm evaluating. Here's how the thing I'm evaluating fits with each element of the theory. Done. I don't want to hear, I kind of think it sucks, or, it seems okay. I don't care. I don't care whether the answer you come to is it's great, it's bad, 50-50, whatever. I care that you're applying a theory in a logical way to reach a conclusion that fits what you're starting with in your theory. Okay. So if you're following along on the Foundations of Ethics slides, we basically are going through this stuff. Why have a theory? So there's two kinds of theories. One is reductionist. Reductionist is the stuff that you as scientists and engineers are more used to. It breaks things down into parts. And it looks at each part and goes, okay, what does this part do? What does this part do? What does this part do? And adds them up at the end. Now, what social scientists tend to do with things that involve people is go, that doesn't get to everything. So we tend to look at systemic theories that say that you can put pieces together and evaluate the pieces, but it's different from when you're looking at the whole puzzle. Because if I'm looking at a jigsaw puzzle, I've got, pieces have some colors on them, and some have straight edges and some don't. Doesn't tell you what the picture is going to be. Social scientists like looking at the big picture. So one of the key notions of tech ethics is that at a system scale, users, different kinds of technologies, global scale, different things happen than if you're just looking at what's inside this case. Okay. What else we got? Blah, blah, blah. Theory's pretty good. So, okay, standard model for applied ethics. What's the problem? Analyze the problem by applying a theory to it. Reach a conclusion, suggest a course of action. Yay. Okay. That'll get you through a lot of stuff. But the one thing I want you to think about, and I'm going to do another video on this following this one, is when you're thinking about, is this good or bad? The reductionist answer would be, okay, what does it do? The systemic answer will go, who uses it? How do they use it? How do different kinds of people use it? And the answer might be very different. So this in the hands of your grandma might not be a problem. This in the hands of somebody who likes to fire off Twitter messages about killing people at 4 a.m. might be a problem. So we can't take the technology as a given. The technology plus the user is what creates an ethical environment. So Next video is going to talk about a quote that my tech ethics professor started our class with. And that's slide 8 in Foundations of Ethics. It's from a guy named Melvin Kranzberg, and he says, technology is neither good nor bad, nor is it neutral. So we may have the notion that technology is neither good nor bad. A gun is a gun. It's not a bad thing. Bad people use it to kill people. Good people use it to protect people. It's neutral. But what Kranzberg is saying is it's not neutral. There are kinds of uses that some technology is more likely to produce than others. Some technologies are more likely to be abused than others. Some technologies are more likely to do good than others. So we can't just say, no, it just depends on the user, because it doesn't just depend on the user. Any more than a reductionist theorist would say, it just depends on what this thing is. User plus the technology. And some things can be used for more, forget that. Okay, so that's our intro. Coming back to the next video on some ways to think about technology and people.